What's going on, y'all? It's Joseph Morrison, aka Kojo Locs, and coming to you with another video. This is a Loc channel where I do discuss Loc content, so if you're interested in that, you can hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, share it with a friend, let people know about the channel so you guys can know what's going on here, and stay informed with any new content that I have coming out. For this video though, it's a little bit of a somber note that I come to you, Sure, you read the thumbnail and you now realize that I've lied to you my whole Loc journey in saying that I love my Locs and Locs are beautiful and they've changed my life in a lot of ways. It's all lies, because the truth is I hate my Locs. I just can't stand them, from the way they look, the way they feel. I'm just playing with y'all. I can't see you because I'm making a video in a room by myself, but I feel like you were genuinely like, you lied to us the whole time? Why would you do that? I watched all your videos. No, I'm playing. Now listen, I will say this. I don't hate my Locs. I love my Locs. They're beautiful. I do mean all the things that I do say on my videos about my Locs. So I guess in some ways the title of the video is a little bit of a troll. Just a little bit of, a little bit of cap. Just a little bit. But essentially the point of this video is to let you know that, if you are on a Loc journey, if you are a starter Locker, if you're thinking about starting your Loc journey, there's going to be things about your Locs that you don't like, or things that, annoy you, or things that you wish were different. Like, you're not just going to be like, yay, the whole time. You're just not, right? And that's kind of indicative of life. Like, and I've said this many times on my channel before, this journey is going to enlighten you in ways that maybe you weren't ready for. If you're really ready for this Loc journey and you're really embracing the Loc journey and everything that it brings, it's going to teach you things about yourself. It's going to instill in you certain qualities that are necessary for life, like patience and resilience and learning to accept things that you can't control. Like, there's just going to be things that happen that makes you essentially a better person in a lot of ways, if you embrace it. Now, in all of that, just like life, there's going to be things that you don't like and have to deal with if you choose to kind of continue down this path, right? So I just wanted to highlight a couple things that I personally don't like about my Locs, and maybe it'll enlighten you. Some people who maybe be going through the same things, maybe you have things about your Locs that you don't like that you want to share with us, so feel free to throw that in the comments below. We can discuss. And I guess before I go into my personal things, the reason I wanted to make this video is just to let you know it's okay to feel like there's things you don't like. It's okay to feel like there's things about your Locs that you wish were different, or things that you can't control that you wish you could control. Like, those are normal human emotions that you're gonna go through on this journey, and it's one of the reasons why they call it a journey. There's ups and downs, there's highs, there's lows, there's things you can completely control and things you can't control. And at the end of the road, whenever that is for you, if that even exists, some people lock their hair up until they die, right? But at the end of the road, you can look back on your journey and say, wow, like, I went through a lot of highs, lows, ups, downs, ins, outs, backs, forths, everything. So, I guess I just want to shed some light on that, and also just to kind of get it off my chest too, and let you know that it's okay to discuss things about your Locs that you don't like. Doesn't mean that you're a bad Locker. It doesn't mean that you're someone who's not embracing this journey to the fullest. Because a lot of times, a lot of heavily spiritual Lockers will kind of make you feel that way. Like, oh, if you don't like your Locs just the way they are at all times, you're not a true Locker and you're not embracing this journey in the way that you should. So maybe you should just cut your hair because you're not worthy of this journey. So have a good day. Okay? Don't let them make you feel like that. So let's just jump right into it. So the first one, honestly, is something I can't control, and that's hair texture. Now, the hair texture that you have, that's your hair texture. You were born with it, it's what you have. And if you watch my previous videos, or you just might know yourself, the type of hair texture that you have will determine how quickly your hair locks up, what products you're going to use in your hair, how your scalp is going to deal with the locking process. Like, your hair texture is a pretty big part of how your journey is going to go, and it's something you can't control at all. A lot of people say the grass is always greener, but I have a 3 hair texture, right? So I'm kind of in the middle. I don't have super coily hair texture like a 4C. I don't have super straight hair texture like a 1. So I'm kind of in the middle. Now typically people who look like me have coilier hair textures, and in a lot of cases that helps your hair to lock up quicker, that helps your ends to lock up quicker. It just usually means that you have a speedier locking process. So I haven't really had the privilege of doing that, and sometimes it's annoying. You know, I've been here for 11 months now, and I would have thought for sure my hair would be fully locked up right now, and it's not. So, you know, wishing I had a different hair texture sometimes? Sure. Do I have friends who are 4C hair texture type people and their hair is actually locking up quicker than mine, even though I started my journey before them? Absolutely. Is that annoying sometimes? Yeah. But it is what it is. And, you know, you just don't let it get to you, because again, you want to try not to be emotionally invested in things you can't control, right? When it comes to this journey. So if I can't control my hair texture, which I can, why am I going to sit around and spend endless amounts of hours worrying about it, being upset about it, wishing I had different hair texture, being jealous of other people? Like, all those feelings I just described are all negative. And just a general rule for life, you want to be as positive as possible, right? So yeah, my hair texture is definitely something I wish was different, but it's not. I mean, honestly, my hair texture is kind of what led me to do an interlocking lock journey. Like, I thought I was just gonna do comb coils the whole time and it was gonna lock up and hip hip hooray, but nope, I've been doing interlock the whole time just because, having started my locks with comb coils, I tried it twice and it came out both times. And I was gonna go back in and do it a third time, but my lock tissue was like, honestly, you might benefit better from an interlock. So I did that, and you know, the rest is history. But you know, it actually made me start my lock journey in a way that I wasn't prepared to do. So it kind of immediately got me in that boat of like, wow, I can't control a lot of what happens on this journey. Okay, reality check. Duly noted, let's move forward. So yeah, definitely wish I had different hair texture, but I don't, and it is what it is. The next one now, yeah. And you know what, this is for any locker, especially when you're a starter locker, so your hair's not fully matured yet. But like, your hair's just there's gonna be certain parts of your head where for whatever reason, your hair just loves to come out. And it's more so in the beginning stages of your locking journey, so even for me sometimes I still have it. But so for the back part of my hair here, I don't know why, the hair here would always come out. And there's even a part of my hair back here, like this part back here, sometimes at the ends always comes out, like right under here. Between these two locks, I'll always just have a bunch of loose natural hair. And right now it's not there. I feel like maybe I'm past that stage, but right in between these bottom locks here, these hairs would always come out. And it would happen like maybe a month after I'd go in to get a re-interlock. But they would just come right out. And being as meticulous as I am, which honestly, being super meticulous is good, but it can be very bad on this process. You know, I would always be like, man, like, how do I get it back in that lock? And I would just keep touching it and it would bother me. And I'm like, I just want it to be in a lock, and it's not in a lock. Now, honestly, it doesn't affect your locking journey at all. It's a part of the process. You're gonna have parts of your head that cooperate and parts that don't. And it actually teaches you too that your hair it grows in different ways on different parts of your head, which is kind of cool. It's not for everybody, but for me personally, like right here, right in this little back part, parts were coming out for the first, I'd say like 6-7 months. It would just always come out. And back here, still to this day, it comes out a little bit. And again, it's just annoying. You just kind of wish it wouldn't happen because, you know, obviously you want your hair to lock up as fast as possible. But yeah, definitely you're gonna have parts of your hair, for some of you, that just come out and there really isn't a reason why. Just maybe that part of your hair is a little bit straighter of a hair texture. Who knows? But yeah, that's definitely something that bugs me sometimes, and it is what it is. You just live with it and you move on. Next time you go in to re-interlock your hair or get a retwist, your lock tissue will take care of that, put it back into a lock, and you just hope it doesn't come out. That's it. Number 3, hair growth. Now this one is a fun one. Now a lot of you are gonna probably have this too. I can be very impatient, so maybe it's just a me thing, but I feel like my hair's been growing slow this whole journey. Like, yeah, and a lot of people say, well, it's because you have high top locks. If you had a full set of locks, naturally, you know, if I would have had locks down here, those locks would have been down to, you know, a little bit longer, so you'd notice your growth a little bit more, which is true. But I just feel like from like 7 months to now, I feel like my locks look the same. I don't know. I mean, you be the judge. Kind of the same, right? Like, not much length. Now, yes, I do notice that it is growing, of course. It'd be silly to think it's not growing. But I just feel like it's growing real slow. And maybe that's just me being impatient. Maybe my hair does grow really slow. I don't know. But I will say in the beginning stages, even my loctician was like, bro, your hair is not growing at all. Like, are you okay? And I'm like, I eat pretty healthy. Like, I'm drinking water. I don't know what else to do. But you know, some people's hair just grows at different rates. I feel like now it's growing a little bit faster, and I don't know why, but yeah, definitely the rate in which my hair is growing is something that I just wish was faster. And again, I think that's just me being impatient, which is another trait that you'll learn is super important, which is patience. Like, patience is gonna be the biggest thing you have to deal with, because it's what this process is. It's like your hair has to go on this process the way that it does it. You're assisting it with the products and making sure that you're protecting your hair and all those good things, eating the right foods, staying hydrated. But as long as you're covering all your bases, your hair just has to do it on its own accord. Like, it just goes about it the way it's gonna go about it. And that just usually means you have to be patient and let your hair do what it's gonna do. So yeah, hair growth and how quickly my hair is growing is definitely something that bugs me. But again, just like the rest of them, is what it is. And you'll notice, a lot of these things are things I can't control. And those are usually the things that are gonna bug you the most. I got two more for you. The next one is itchy scalp. Ooh, itchy scalp is real. And if any locker will tell you, your scalp is gonna be itchy. Now, prior to my locking journey, I never dealt with itchy scalp at all. You know, I had shorter hair and maybe that's why, but itchy scalp is something that you're definitely gonna deal with. I've made videos about itchy scalp and how to mitigate it. There's definitely products that can help you. There's nutritional things you can do to help yourself deal with itchy scalp or build up. So I'm definitely taking care of it, but it's still there. Like, it's not like it just goes away completely. So, you know, there's times where I'll be like scratching my scalp and I'm like, nope, self-control, we got this, no big deal. And other times where I'm just like, I don't even care right now. I just need to get all of this out. I don't care if I'm digging up my whole scalp. This feels wonderful and I'm just gonna keep doing it because whatever, YOLO. Shout out to Drake. Looking forward to that Certified Lover Boy album. You know, we from the 6, so we gotta represent the boy from the 6. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta get in there. So it's a back and a forth. It's a fight, you know. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But itchy scalp is definitely something that's gonna, like, that's gonna get you. Like, that's not just a me thing. It's coming for you. If you're a starter locker, you're gonna deal with it. And definitely watch my old videos to see ways that you can mitigate this itching issue. But it just takes some time, and I will say it gets better over time. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It definitely gets better over time, but there's times where it still comes back like it never left. And the last one I would say that I don't like about my locks, and I think this one's just a me thing, but I find that sometimes I'm like overly attentive with it. Like, you go through this back and forth of like, one period of time you're like looking at it every single day, you're touching it, making sure this is right and that feels good and it's not too dry, it's not too moist. And you're looking to make sure that all the locks are in place. And if you see a lock out of place, you'll like dry twist it in place. But then you don't want to dry twist too much because you don't want to have lock breakage. And then you go to sleep and you gotta like, where you're just like bombarding yourself with things you have to do. How does it feel? How does it look? Is it doing what it's supposed to do? You're looking at other lockers' hair and, you know, comparing it to your journey and like, are you on track? And you know, so essentially it's just being overly, almost like you're like a helicopter parent with your kid. Like, you're just overbearing, you're just being an overbearing person with your locks. You're thinking way too much about it. You're taking way too much care of it, which is a thing. Like, you're just driving yourself crazy. And that's something that I do sometimes. And of course it's gotten better over time. I feel like now I'm a lot more chill with it. I'm a lot more like go with the flow. I don't think about it. But I'll have moments where even little things like, it won't sit the way I want it to sit that day, and I'll be in the mirror the whole time, just like, come on, like sit, like why are you sitting like that? Like sit this way or like sit that, like, you know? And you just get frustrated and then you're like, bro, relax, like just chill out, your hair's fine, you know? Or like little things like, so, you know, how the ends of my hair, as you can see, are still pretty frayed, right? Like that'll drive me crazy sometimes, or I'll feel one lock where the ends are like fully frayed out and I'm like, what? And I'll call my wife and I'm like, you gotta crochet hook my hair right now, we gotta get this. So you'll just go through these back and forths where you're super over dramatic about your hair. You're on top of every little detail, making sure it's perfect. And then kind of be like, I don't care. I don't care what's happening. Just let it do its thing. So it's definitely juggling this back and forth a lot, which isn't an issue that my hair is doing, but it's a direct result of how I'm trying to care for my hair, right? And the stresses that it can bring. So I guess I say all of this to say, you're gonna have things about your locks that you don't like or that bug you. You're gonna wish you could control certain things that you can't, and in most moments you'll be good with it. You'll be fine. But in some moments it'll bug you. And that's just like anything else. If you have a fitness goal, maybe you wanna lose weight, maybe you wanna build muscle, you're gonna have moments where you look in the mirror and you're not at your goal yet, and you're just like, oh, I look like crap. Like it's a part of any real life journey, even a career journey. Maybe you want to be the CEO of some company, or you are an entrepreneur and you're running your own business, and you see that end goal for yourself, and you see it so vividly that where you're at is bugging you, And I'm just saying all this to say that's a normal part of progression, and it just means that you know and you have a clear-cut vision of what you want, which is a good thing. And my takeaway that I want you to get from all this is, have a little bit more grace with yourself, and understand that just because you're so like about your hair sometimes doesn't mean you're a bad person, doesn't mean that you're somebody who isn't appreciating the lock journey, doesn't mean that you're somebody who isn't a good locker. Like, all of these emotions are a part of it, right? Your lock journey, in my opinion, is probably a hair journey that's the most simulation to how life is, ups and downs, highs and lows. And it's about embracing every aspect of the journey as opposed to trying to make everything perfect. Anything in life, if it's perfect, you'll never appreciate it because it's always perfect. You'll be used to it being perfect, so you'll never actually appreciate perfection. You need, dips in the road. You need lows to really appreciate when things are good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm guess my overall message is, those moments that you're frustrated or you're unhappy with certain things, those are good, because there's gonna be moments where you look at your locks and you're like, yo, my locks are fire. Or you feel like your hair's growing really fast, or someone gives you a compliment and you're like, yeah, you know what, my hair is dope. So, just go through those emotions, and it's okay. And you don't have to feel bad about it, because every locker goes through those things too, just like myself. Even lockers you look at and you're like, yo, that girl must love her locks at all times. No, sometimes there's things you don't like. You might look at my locks and be like, well, right now it's kind of crazy, but you might look at my locks and be like, yo, that guy's locks are sick. I love those locks. I want my locks to look like his. He must always love them. He has a YouTube channel, so he takes care of his locks perfectly and never gets frustrated. Not true, So, yeah, I guess all I'm really saying is just relax. You good, you got this. I have faith in you. And if there's anything I can help you with, or any questions you have, or any comments you have, or just any insights you want to share with the community, throw it in the comments below. Let's talk about it. It's cool to talk to all of you about different various things. And a lot of times, actually, your comments inspire some of the videos that I make, which is awesome. Which makes things easier for me. So, yeah, love your locks, even when you don't. It's all good, okay? That's all I got for you today. Go out and enjoy the day. And as for me, Kojo Locs, I'm signing out. Peace and love, y'all.